It's time to show you how mezcal is made. I'm going to show you one of the places in my home country that I visited not so long ago and how they make artisanal mezcal over there. Mezcal is made in different ways and in different places. There are more than 18 states in Mexico that make a spirit out of an agave. But of those states, only 9 are authorized to call it mezcal. And that is because of the denomination of origin. In the mezcal world, there are different ways to make mezcal, but there is only 3 categories authorized by the Mezcal Council: the industrial, the artisanal, and the ancestral. In this video, I'm going to show you how the artisanal is made, and in another one, I'll show you the ancestral. What I'm about to show you took place in Oaxaca. Oaxaca is right now the main producer of mezcal, but that wasn't like that all the time. In the beginning and for many years, the state of Zacatecas had the biggest mezcal production. Currently, they are still making mezcal, but now Oaxaca is the main producer, and that is because the culture of mezcal grew and adapted really well in the customs and traditions of the Oaxaca families. Plus, the amount of different agave species there are there. It is the largest in Mexico and in the world. Of all the agave species that exist in this planet, over 210, Oaxaca has around 42. And of them, at least 18 can be used to make this liquid art. So how is the process of making artisanal mezcal? Well, like any spirit, you have harvesting of your raw material. Then you cook it, grind it, let it ferment, and you distill it. But to make artisanal mezcal, to earn the right to be called artisanal, it will all depend on the type of tools and methods you are using in each step. Once you have harvested the agave, which could be different species of agave, like barril, tobaciche, espadín, tepestate, arroqueño, castilla, etc., which, by the way, some of them take up to 30 years before you can harvest them. You have to cook them, and for the artisanal way, it has to be cooked in a pit oven. That's right, you dig a hole in the ground, light it up with timber of the local areas like saús, camuchil, mesquite, then you place rocks around it, and when they are red hot, you start placing the agaves. Once that is done, you cover up. And it stays there for 4 to 7 days, or could be longer. This time will depend on a lot of factors: weather, type of timber, how much timber you put it in the oven, how many agaves you have placed there. It has a lot of things that will determine the amount of time that it will take the cooking. After the cooking, you have to grind it, and mainly you have 2 methods. One is using a mallet, and the other one is using a big rock called tahona, which usually is pulled by a donkey, a mule, a horse, or a bull. Once everything is being grinded, then it's fermentation time. And for this method, it has to be either in brick tanks, or stone, or clay pots, or an animal hide pools. But the most common one is timber tanks. After 5 to 7 days, natural fermentation. That means not chemicals are added to the fermentation, only water. It is time to distill it. And here, it has to be in copper pot stills and no other. For 2 times, it needs to have 2 distillations. This type of distillation is the typical one, is the authorized to be an artisanal mezcal. And after using a copper pot still, then you call it artisanal. You end up with liquid art. You end up with a fantastic artisanal mezcal. When it's done properly, when the maestro mezcalero and his team have done a great job, you'll be drinking something remarkable. Something made with a lot of skills and love. You'll be drinking art. From Puerto Pacifico, I am Luis. I am the Tequila Dealer. Adios.